Very good morning, children. As we have discussed in the last videos about history chapter 7, so many things we have seen in this chapter, like the Indian iron and steel industry. In the last videos we have discussed. Also, the decline of traditional iron melting in India, deindustrialization and industrialization, the period of all such types of things we have discussed properly. Now we have a new video to discuss much more about the next topic. So first is that Indian cotton mills. This is our new topic for the day. Let's study concentrately and properly. In the early 1860s, a civil war broke out in the USA and the supply of cotton to Britain from USA fell drastically. This was the period of crisis in the history of USA. There was a civil war which took place during 1860. As a result, the supply of cotton to Britain fell drastically. यहाँ बंद हो गया जो वहाँ से सप्लाई अमेरिका से ब्रिटेन के लिए होता था कॉटन का. As cotton plantation run by slave labor in southern USA declined, the workers who were the slave working in the plantation failed. They stopped their work. As a result, the production of cotton declined. As a result, there was a sharp increase in India's raw cotton export to Britain. इस वजह से बहुत तेज़ी से जो है इंडिया के रॉ कॉटन का में इंक्रीज़ होने लगा, शार्प इंक्रीज़ होने लगा और ये ब्रिटेन भेजा जाने लगा, क्योंकि अमेरिका से तो सप्लाई बंद हो चुकी थी ब्रिटेन के लिए. In 1877, Jamshedji Tata established the impress mill at Nagpur. Soon more mills were set up in Ahmedabad, Madras, Bengal and Punjab. The cotton textile industry became one of the first largely Indian-owned modern industries in India. By 1900, there were about 87 cotton mills operating in India. Of these, more than half were in Bombay. The growth of cotton mills led to a demand for labor. Thousands of poor peasants, artisans and agricultural laborers moved to the cities to work in these mills. By the first decade of the 20th century, a series of changes affected the pattern of industrialization. In this period, means beginning of the फर्स्ट 20th सेंचुरी, बहुत सारे इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन के पैटर्न जो है इफेक्टेड हो चुके थे. पीपल बॉयकॉटेड फॉरेन क्लास. इन इंडिया पीपल डिड नॉट विश टू परचेज और यूज फॉरेन क्लास. इंडियन इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रुप्स ऑर्गेनाइज देमसेल्व्स टू प्रोटेक्ट their collective interest, pressurizing the government to increase traffic protection and grant other concessions. Production of cotton cloth rather than just yarn began to assume importance. From 1906, the export of Indian yarn to China declined Since yarn from Chinese and Japanese mills in India began to produce more cloth rather than yarn. Production of cotton cloth doubled between 1900 and 1912. After the outbreak of the First World War, import of British cloth to India declined. As the war prolonged, Indian factories were called upon to supply war needs like cloth for army uniform, tents, and a host of other items. New factories were set up and old ones ran multiple shifts. Many new workers were employed and everyone was made to work for longer hours. Over the years, industrial production in textiles in India boomed. India once again became a leading manufacturer of textile in the world. The first new iron and steel factory. The establishment of iron and steel industry was the result of part opportunity and part patriotism on the part of one man, Jamshedji Nusserwanji Tata, a surname with which all of you would be familiar. However, it was his eldest son, Sir Dorabji Tata, who in 1907 set up the factory, Tisco that is, at Sakshi near the confluence of the river Subarnrekha and Kharkai in what is today Jharkhand. Sakshi 32 kilometers from Kalimati station on the Bengal Nagpur railway line was seen as the ideal place to set up the steel plant. Later this site was named Jamshedji after Jamshedji Tata. Tisco started producing pig iron from 1911 and steel in 1912. This was the first Indian old steel production unit in India. In 1914, the First World War broke out. The steel produced in Britain now had to meet the demand of war in Europe. So imports of British steel in India declined, and the Indian Railways turned to Tisco for the supply of steel for rail. As the war dragged on for several years, the demand of the colonial government for steel increased and Tisco became the biggest steel supplier. Thus we can say that the Indian industrial expansion in the iron and steel industry occurred only during the First World War, when the British import into India declined. But this was possible as the ground had been prepared for the Tata. In this way, we have discussed completely about this chapter. Next, we shall meet with new video concerned to the new chapter, new topics. So many facts we will come to know about the next topic. Till then, complete your task properly. Do it in your suitable fair copies and others as prescribed by your teachers. Till then, thank you. Goodbye.